70 degrees is our current temperature with a dew point of 64 with relatively calm winds. But calm is not what we had today. We had tons of storms coming through. What you're looking at is a 6-hour loop on our Live Max storm radar coming from 6 hours ago, seeing these storms come through central Ohio and into southeastern Ohio, where we've seen several severe thunderstorm warnings come through the region. We'll take a look and see what's been going on the past 12 hours on our satellite and radar loop. Saw this fairly strong storm system form early this morning into Indiana, but then slowly starting to decay. But ahead of this, we've seen the winds from this storm then trigger a new line of thunderstorms, which then later intensified in the northeastern part of the state and then into Pittsburgh and up north into Pennsylvania. But right now, really just dealing with some just remnants of the storm that has then since decayed and just for some spotty showers into the western part of the region heading into Licking County. Other than that, it's going to be setting up for a fairly quiet evening. And looking at winds, we're going to be continuing to hang on to that southerly flow, so you can expect a warm night as well, with temperatures still into the upper 70s, 79 in Cambridge, 74 over in New Philadelphia. It's 81 right now down in Caldwell and 78 over in New Lexington. Of course, talking about some pretty humid conditions as well. Over the past 12 hours, mainly just been seeing those upper level clouds encompass the southern part of the state, seeing more rain activity along the Ohio River with this storm system that is off into the southwest. So how long is it going to be staying? Well, we can give you a quick kind of lowdown on what we can expect not only over the next couple days but the next several days by simply looking at the jet stream. So what we've been dealing with typically for the past few days is just this westerly flow, meaning just some fast moving storms into the upper level winds. But you notice we're going to see this dip into the jet stream over the Great Lakes, which is then going to translate to a surface cold front which will be passing through, which you would assume bringing in cooler air as we head into the weekend. You can start to see some cooler air drift into the Ohio Valley as we head into the weekend. Now this isn't 60-degree cool. We'll still have afternoon highs near 80 degrees, but it will provide some relief, especially from the humidity, and we'll be dealing with mostly clear conditions. So we'll have a nice weekend in store for us. Then we'll notice the warm air will start to build back as we head into the new work week. And what we're going to see here, kind of off into the center of the United States, not going to be seeing much movement out of here. And we're actually going to have a blocking scenario where, as you can see over into the northwest, going to be dealing with a lot of chances for rain feeding off of the Pacific. But as we head over towards our neck of the woods, noticing we're going to be kind of seeing that northwesterly flow, which is then going to be translating in, pulling off more moisture off to the Great Lakes. So just kind of breaking it down in a nutshell, basically just going to be dealing with a little bit of some humid conditions as we head into the weekend. Cooler in store for the weekend. Then we'll be seeing seasonal conditions and good chances for rain as we head into next week.
Then thanks over to meteorologist Ross Caruso. He has a check on the forecast. Happy Friday, Ross.
Happy Friday to you too, Alexa, and everyone watching this evening. Definitely dealing with much drier conditions across the region, which I know everyone's looking forward to as we head into the weekend. Right now, taking a look outside Storm Team Tower Cam, seeing some pretty nice views out there. Relatively warm with the dew point still up into the upper 60s, so still talking about some mugginess that's lurking around the region. Talking about just some pretty warm and muggy conditions. We have a current temperature of 85 degrees with dew points still into the upper 60s, so still unfortunately dealing with that humid air mass in play. And you can see not a whole lot of activity going on along I-70 up north, but down to the south, we've seen a couple of these storms fire off along this cold front that's passing through the region down into what was in Morgan County, now into the southern portions of Noble County. So we'll continue to keep an eye out on these spotty showers and isolated thunderstorms as they develop, but you can see much of the action is more so down to the south along the Ohio River, which is good news for us because we needed the break from yesterday's rainfall. And taking a look at temperatures from today, we're at 72 this morning, so another warm and muggy start, and a high of 86 degrees. So a little bit of break into the clouds allowed for us to really heat up this afternoon. Yeah, pretty soggy out there indeed, Matthew. Saw a ton of rain coming through the region earlier today. We saw some pretty strong winds too, and looking rather ominous out into the distance from Storm Team Tower Cam, but staying fairly mild. 69 degrees is the current temperature with a light southerly flow, but extremely muggy out there. So talking numbers from today, low of 65, high of 83, and talking 0.6 of an inch of rain for the day so far, because I think we'll see a little bit more on our way here shortly, but luckily this will be nothing compared to what we experienced earlier today. Here's some photos that were taken earlier. You could see taken by Nick Helt here. This is in Sugar Grove in Fairfield County. See some dime marble sized hail. Some more branches being snapped down near Nashport. This was sent in by Brian King. And again, seeing this a lot with the amount of moisture that we have seen throughout the course of the few days, uprooting trees very easily, especially with strong winds to come. But like I said, good news is we'll be seeing not as much action out of this wave of rain, much like what we saw earlier, with much cooler and drier conditions in store for the weekend. I'll have details on that coming up later on in the show. Back to you, Matt. Welcome back, everyone. So we got a stormy day in store for tomorrow. We'll then see some scattered shower activity mainly into the first half of the day on Friday. I think then we'll dry out as we head into the weekend. High pressure will stay in place for the day on Saturday. We'll then see a weak system move through to the north of us, bringing back chances for showers late Sunday night and then into the day on Monday. Then we'll be seeing high pressure return to the region with temperatures back into the mid-80s by next Wednesday. We're starting to see some more rain and storm activity make its way into the region, but this cell has extremely weakened as it's made its way from the Columbus City metro area now into the eastern part of Licking County. Mainly going to be looking at some scattered showers and perhaps an isolated storm as we head into the latter half of the evening and into the night, where we can see more storm activity off into the west, tracking over towards the east. So going to be expecting some more on and off showers. Not going to be really getting much of a break of the rain, but not as widespread as what we were experiencing earlier today. And that's the main thing. So we got some good news out there, but still seeing a flash flood watch in effect for virtually all of southeastern Ohio. This is in effect until tomorrow morning, where we could still see the threat for some more measurable rainfall falling across the region on top of what we've already seen.
Ross is in now, and my air conditioner is definitely getting a workout this week.
Yeah, mine's been on the fritz lately, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Not the best time to be experiencing that. Looking outside today, yeah, we got a warm one in store for us. And taking a look at your 7-day forecast, we'll be seeing continued and increasing chances of storms as we head into the day on Thursday and Friday. Now, I don't think we're going to be seeing storms move as slow as what they were today, which is good news, but we'll see better chances as we close out the work week, and then much cooler and drier air will be present as we head into the weekend, with highs only near 80 degrees for both Saturday and Sunday, with mostly sunny skies, and then temperatures warming back up along with chances of rain as we head into next week.
Ross is in now, and compared to the last couple of days, today was pretty quiet.
Yeah, we had a lot of activity around us, but nothing that came through that really affected the area. So we saw a little bit of some clearing there for a moment, but we've then seen clouds then return back into the region. And just talking about a pretty warm evening upon us. Temperature at 80 degrees currently at the Zanesville Airport, with some breezy southwesterly winds currently right around 10 miles an hour. So talking temperatures from today, a little bit warmer than what it was yesterday, but now we're starting to see more storms develop just into the central portions of Indiana, where we're seeing several severe thunderstorm warnings actually just south of Dayton. And as you can see there, storms are evolving into an area where they have not yet seen any type of storm activity yet today. That's why they're so strong and have the severe potential, where you're seeing more storms not really developing as well as the ones down towards the south. So while we're seeing a little bit more rain picking up as you look off just north of Dayton, really not looking for any real severe potential. Pretty much the worst has already passed. So what is responsible for this? Well, ultimately we have this very slow air mass boundary that is now stationary, hence why we're not seeing much movement out of these storms, with high pressure towards the north keeping things dry virtually north of I-70, but still seeing a lot of mess down to the south and through the Tennessee Valley and off into the southwest associated with this storm system. So what's that mean for us? As we head into the overnight, I'm actually expecting a lot of this rain to just kind of fizzle away as the sun sets. It'll lose the energy that it's been getting so far today with the sun out. And as we head into the evening, expecting a partly cloudy night, so we should have a great show for the stars and stripes on the river out there. Temperatures into the upper 60s and low 70s right around as we head into 11 o'clock. Good evening, southeastern Ohio. Let's get right to it. We saw some storms come through earlier today. Now we're tracking another wave of rain making its way into the region, but I want to point out much of the strong to severe activity as well south of us, south of Columbus actually, and near West Virginia and parts of Kentucky. Other than that, we'll be dealing with mainly just some light to moderate rain showers that will be making their way through the region here shortly, and talking about perhaps a few rumbles of thunder. As you can see here, not as strong as what we were dealing with earlier today, and you can see just seeing a wave of rain making its way into the western side of the viewing area into Knox, Licking, and Fairfield County, soon to be entering into Perry, Muskingum, and Coshocton County here shortly, probably within the next half hour. So talking rainfall as we go through the course of the day tomorrow, seeing a little bit of rain into the morning, then we'll see more organized rainfall then through the region as we head into the evening hours, seeing most locations anywhere from a half to an inch in more isolated locations when we get these slow-moving storms, as I'm expecting to pass through. Could see even some areas seeing closer up to 2 inches of rain. So definitely have the threat to see a decent amount of rain in a short amount of time, hence why we have that flash flood watch in effect. As we head into the remainder of the evening, again, it's going to be another warm night. However, going to be seeing more clouds into the mix. So what you would expect, just warmer conditions out there and a pretty humid start to the day for us. By around 7 o'clock, seeing overnight temperatures lucky to be dipping down into the upper 60s. Talking about some warmth to be had across the state. It's 77 in Cleveland, getting a little cooler with that lake breeze. 85 in Columbus and 83 down in Cincinnati. Taking you on a 12-hour loop of what we've been seeing so far. A lot of clear skies to the north of the state, but seeing a lot of moisture along the Ohio River and seeing this narrow band of showers and storms being triggered over the past few hours. But the good news is once this front passes through, we'll be seeing high pressure move in, which will bring in much drier and actually cooler conditions as we head into the weekend. But first, we still got to deal with a chance for some storms to travel as this front then continues to push on towards the southeast. It will then lift towards the northeast, which will then help to supply more drier conditions as we head into the course of the overnight and overall into the weekend. So looking at futurecast, as we go into the remainder of the evening, again, I'm expecting we could see another wave of scattered showers coming through. Really not going to be dealing with the potential for strong to severe storms. However, could deal with some localized flooding in some cases within these storms that are moving through. And the more stronger ones, again, are going to be south of Dayton into southwestern Ohio. But we could see a few of them roll up just south of us, so we'll keep an eye on that as the night progresses. So definitely talking about the issue for flash flooding across the region. Tons of warnings issued across Licking and Fairfield County seem to be the hot spot where you saw most of that rain was localized at. And it's all thanks to the storm system that's now positioned off along the Great Lakes and just fueling more moisture and storms ahead of this cold front, which will slowly be making its way past the region as we head into the day tomorrow. So not going to be passing overnight, so we can count on for a few more chances for storms and some showers as we wrap up the night and into the overnight. We'll see continuing chances of scattered showers and a few isolated storms potentially, with temperatures staying fairly mild, back down only into the low 70s. So we could run into some patchy fog if we get a little break in the cloud coverage as we head into the early morning. Otherwise, talking about a soggy and muggy start to the day again, where we'll see, I think, some more chances for some showers as this cold front works through the region throughout the course of the day. Really not anticipating it passing until we head into the latter half of the day for us tomorrow. Welcome back, everyone, and such a nice evening across the region, mainly for areas north of I-70, though, seeing a lot of rain action down to the south. However, for us, dealing with just some nice warm summer-like conditions. 64 this morning and a high of 86 degrees, and still dealing with some pretty warm conditions across the region. It's 84 right now here in Zanesville, 83 up in New Philadelphia. Seeing a little bit of cooler conditions down to the south, but it's not going to be feeling any better as dew points are higher down to the south, so you can imagine how humid it is below areas south of I-70. Seeing dew points, though, 59 in New Philadelphia, 63 in Coshocton, 64 in Zanesville, and 69 down in Caldwell. So mainly going to be talking about some light rain, but that was not what we were dealing with earlier today. You can see a bunch of trees uprooted, which was ultimately due to the fact that just these strong winds that we had associated with these several strong to severe storms that came through the region, which packed winds up to 60 miles an hour. So seeing things like this is pretty common whenever you have this much rain falling just over a short amount of time. Now, this is over a 24-hour total, but keep in mind, we didn't see any rain north of I-70 for the day yesterday. So all of this is fresh from the storms that we got early this morning into the afternoon, and what is now adding from what's coming over from the west. And you can see many areas seeing at least a half an inch of rain, in some areas into the more yellow locations showing close to 3 inches of rain. So definitely a lot of saturated soils out there, easy for trees to be uprooted and especially for branches to be snapped whenever you have winds as strong as what they were coming through earlier today with this storm system that is gradually passing through. And we do have this cold front that's going to be pushing through the region, which will gradually then be bringing some clearing as we head into the course of the overnight. So really not going to be expecting much by the time we reach the sunset around 9 o'clock. We'll then actually see a little bit of clearing as we head into the overnight with temperatures into the low 60s, so a fairly seasonal but soggy night ahead. We'll then see temperatures back only into the upper 70s as we go into the afternoon, and we could see a few spotty showers overnight. Other than that, we'll be talking about much drier and cooler conditions into the overnight with temperatures into the mid-50s and setting up for sunny skies on Sunday. So tonight, temperatures will be fairly seasonal. Scattered showers ending early. Could hear perhaps a few rumbles of thunder. Other than that, talking about a cool down for the day tomorrow. High of 78, spotty shower into the mix. We'll then be talking about pretty dry conditions over the weekend. But I want to point out more unsettled weather will be coming our way as we head into the new work week. The temperatures will be responding fairly well, not getting too hot, not getting too cool, mainly into the seasonal numbers, into the low to mid 80s, but still hanging on to some unsettled weather with chances of rain pretty much every day for next week. That's your look at the weather. Coming up after the break, we'll take a look at sports with David Kinder.